President Kennedy died at 1.
Every nation has to either be with us or against us.
I gambled on other sports other than baseball.
George Bush will become the 43rd President of the United States.
Woo! Oh, are we on?
Yeah, we're on.
Oh, we're here. Hey, how you doing, everybody? Hey, here we are. Hey, thanks so much for being here. This is the Lowdown in Louisville, Kentucky, baby.
Now live on YouTube.
Live on YouTube. We're big time now, I hope. We'll see what happens.
We're something.
Yeah, we're something, all right. Thanks for being with us. This is the Lowdown. This talk show. We kind of talk about current events and
whatever's on our minds.
Whatever's on our mind. It kind of pisses us off or
some good things occasionally.
Yeah, we talk about some good things as well. You know, we try to mix it up a little bit. So thanks so much for being here, and thanks for being here, part of our YouTube, our very
debut.
Our debut. I couldn't get the word out.
There you go.
Yeah, you'll find
our debut.
Our debit. That's it. We're from Kentucky, you know. Anyway, thanks for being here. I guess I wanted to start out by saying is the world has just gone crazy, man.
You ain't kidding.
Every day I watch the news. I mean, I sit there and go, I'm not even the world news. Just if you watch the local news in your hometown, wherever you may be. I can say that now because we're YouTubing it. Yes. I mean, there's a murder. I mean, this is Louisville, Kentucky, and we're not. You know, it's a pretty. I think overall average.
Not
this
exactly
is a safer city.
Not exactly the murder capital of the world.
Yeah, but it's like every single night, man. I just watch it. It's a murder. There's a murder. There's a murder. There's a murder. It's getting ridiculous. I mean, people just can't. Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with people. They've lost their mind. But we got a lot of good things to talk about. I just wanted to say that tonight. I guess what I wanted to say first is, as the world has gone crazy, but it's been that way for a long time.
Settle down out there.
Settle down, yeah. Simmer down now. I love that on Saturday Night Live. Remember that? Simmer down now. Sherry O'Terry was one of my favorites, man. I loved her, man.
Josh, how you doing back there, man?
Oh yeah, I forgot about Josh. I'm Rob. This is Chuck. And Josh is behind
I'm still
the
running
scenes
back
there.
and forth to the computers, making all this, making sure this is all going right. But yeah,
doing
great.
Yeah, there we go. And we're missing Shannon tonight. She's usually here if she had some issues, and so anyway, it's just you and me, buddy.
Hey,
you
right
two
on
tonight.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway, I was going to start out tonight just talking about this Bill Cosby thing. It's gotten berserk. You know, my thing is, you know, of course, he's like America's dad,
family friendly.
Oh yeah,
and hey, let's not kid ourselves. Bill had some sort of racy humor in the '60s on his albums and stuff. Never went full on Richard Pryor or anything.
No, he was fairly clean.
But he was edgy a little bit from time to time, but built his reputation. You know, the Fat Albert, the Cosby Show, America's Dad, like you said, Mr. Wholesome, nice guy kind of thing.
Mr. Huxtable.
Yes.
You know, but
Dr.
Huxtable. That's right. Well, you know, my thing is that you know, he's a celebrity, okay, and look, there's a lot of nice guys out there. There are celebrities. You don't have to be a bad boy to be being a celebrity and all that kind of thing. But it doesn't surprise me when things like this happen. I mean, when you're a man, and I can only speak for men because I'm a man, whatever, I think, and that is, you know, a lot of men out there, when they're celebrities, they got that power.
Yeah.
They got that power over women. Oh, I'm a celebrity, and I can they think they can get away with things. And believe me, let me start by saying, I'm not saying anything he's done or not done. We don't know for sure.
Yeah,
yeah,
it is America. There is a presumed innocence until guilty.
Right.
But
although 15 women have come out, so
yeah,
I say it's looking pretty bad for him.
It's not looking great.
No. But what bothers me about it really is that. You know, when you're younger, like when they're saying this happened, and then there's all these young women around and things like that, you're gonna try to get it. You know, you and I are in the music business. We're in the entertainment business. Yeah. You know, we've had me probably more than you. You've been a married man for 20 years. Congratulations. And but you know, you use that star, and I'm using that lightly. We're not big famous stars or anything yet. But even locally, You're kind of a celebrity. We're kind of celebrities.
Well,
you know,
even,
when you're on stage,
when
you're a celebrity.
When I was out touring regionally and across the eastern part of the country, you know, it was the 80s, and man, it was crazy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know,
but you kind of use that to your advantage. I always did.
Absolutely.
I've had my way with many, and I didn't care if they were married or not married. You know, you are a celebrity, and when you're on that stage, and I'm a singer, so when you're on that stage, women want you. I don't know what it is. It's not my fault. I didn't do it to them. Well, I did it to them, but you know. But
here's the thing. When you're in that position, and certainly Mr. Cosby would be in that position as well, you don't need to spike somebody's drink.
Exactly.
You know?
But exactly. I mean, either you got it, Hoss, or you don't have it. You know what I mean? I always had it. I didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't even buy a drink for them. They usually buy me the drinks. You know what I mean? But what I don't like about it is this. Again, if he raped these women or did whatever, he gave them pills to have sex with them, whatever, that's bad. That's wrong, and he ought to be punished for it to the fullest. You know, that's an awful thing.
However, now the statute of limitations is passed
on
all
that's true.
of this.
But it's going to kill his reputation.
Right, yeah. His
done.
legacy is done.
Yeah. What I don't like is these victims. Rape is an awful thing, and I'm not saying anything bad about that. But what I don't like is these victims coming out many years later. Of course, if you look at it, if they're a new actress trying to make it out in the world, obviously they don't want to stir the pot up because that could affect them.
Right.
When you're talking about a huge celebrity like Bill Cosby, you don't want to stir up the pot where I might not get a job. You know, that guy's a very powerful man in the industry.
Oh, absolutely.
So, but what I don't like is the victims are coming out many, many years later, or it's always funny how these women, and I use the women, it probably happens to guys too. I'm not trying to be, all chauvinistic or anything like that, but, you know, when Bill Cosby, for instance, I'll give you another example. When I was doing shows, if I invited you backstage or I said, hey, you want to go get a drink, it's because I wanted to hear you talk. I don't want to hear your life story. It's because I wanted something from you, okay? Yes. And so when these women, Bill Cosby says, hey, why don't you come up to my hotel room? Or, that's number one. Number two is, hey, you want a drink? Hey, you want to take this pill? And then you're all of a sudden you're the victim. Now, I'm not saying the rape part of it.
Right.
But you should not put yourself in that position.
And full on
or
knowing,
any position for that matter. You know what I'm
saying?
Oh.
But also, I factor in knowing that he was a married man to begin with.
Sure.
Again, not...
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
Neither here nor... Right, exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Neither here nor there. A married man is asking you up to his hotel room. Yeah. You got to know something's up.
Look, if you just want to talk, you could do it at the bar or down in the hotel lobby, or we can have a chat. When you get invited to a room of a celebrity guy, or you get invited to the tour bus, it's because we want something from you. It's not because we want to talk to you. We don't want to hear you talk, just to be honest with you. Men don't want to hear women talk, do we? We really don't. I'm sorry. I know you don't want to hear that. You hate to hear the truth, but we really don't like hearing you yap all the time. We'd just rather you do the deed and get the hell out of the room, honestly. I know that sounds really bad, but it really does.
No, not at all.
But I don't care. Let's be honest here.
What can sound bad about that?
Let's be honest here. When you are, good start to the good start.
Yes.
But I
nothing
mean, honestly,
chauvinistic about that at all.
I mean, come on, really? And they know what they're there for. It isn't because they're starstruck. They're starstruck, and they just and the same as the girl in front of me on stage. She's and I don't want to sound arrogant. I don't want to get arrogant. Yeah. But what I'm saying is she falls for you for some reason. She likes the way you sing. She likes the way you look. She likes how the sex appeal you're presenting on stage, and they get horny. I don't know what to tell you. They want you. It don't matter if they're married. They don't care.
It's not like you're expecting to go on to the bus and play backgammon.
Right. Exactly. Thank you very much.
That's probably a more clear way of putting that.
Thank you.
You if you are, then you're more naive than you probably should be.
True.
And stay out of the clubs.
Right. But but at the same time, obviously, if she gets in a room and you've had to feed her, give her all kinds of alcohol and the pills, or whatever to get what you need. I mean, that's way stepping over the line.
That's definitely.
Now, if she comes in there and she prevents and she does the deed on her own, and then 10 years later you go, oh well, he took advantage of me. Bull crap, lady. You knew what you were doing. Yeah. You wanted the fun. Quit whining about it. I just get tired of everybody being a victim all the time.
Some of these women obviously have a lot more credibility than others do. Mm-hmm. That Price is Right chick, Janice Dickinson.
Yes.
She
likes to be in the spotlight.
She's so far gone, ate up with the drugs and everything else that I don't think she has a whole lot of credibility.
No, but being in a group of 15 more women or 14 other women makes it seem, hey, come on.
Right.
NBC has canceled his sitcom.
Yeah, he had a development deal for a new program, and that just went wayside.
Right.
Again, looking more and more likely, as it should be, you wouldn't, any deal with somebody that's a predator like that is toxic for everybody.
Right.
Right. So
sure.
it should be canceled if these allegations are true. It's a serial criminal, not just somebody who made a mistake one time.
Here's where I got a problem with that, and I don't disagree with what you're saying, but how you're saying it is the fact that you got one that maybe he did go too far with, and the others,
again, it's a tough thing all around, because if he's guilty, then everything that happens to him he deserves. If he's not, if how it is, especially lately with athletes.
Yes.
One person alleges something, then they come crawling out of the woodwork looking for the payoff.
Waiting for the payoff. That's right.
So again, you just never know how much of this is legitimate and how much isn't. That's for the courts decide. That's for more talented people legally to decide what's going on here.
Well, we hope that, but in the world of media today, everybody's the lawyer and the jury and the judge and the whole nine yards.
In the media, there is no such thing as presumption of innocence. You're guilty as soon as that hits the news.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, what did this guy do? What did this guy
probably
do?
Going to get Al Sharpton all stirred up too, like, oh, not a black man. Oh!
It's as soon as it's in the media, man, you're on TMZ and you're on Extra, and they're just feeding.
Everybody's got to jump on their soapbox and make a paycheck,
Oh yeah,
oh, absolutely.
Exactly.
I'm very anti-paparazzi, TMZ. Harvey Levin is a bottom feeder that
I agree with that, because I know you're a celebrity or whatever, and people want to know about you, and they get excited about it. It's a big business and things like that, but just the constant. A family can't even go out and enjoy dinner like a normal person without these idiots in a bush, with a camera in your face.
Yeah. So if you're watching TMZ and you're buying the Inquirer, you're part of the problem.
Yeah. Exactly. Really
that's just my point of view on it, but you are.
Yeah. Well, anyway, what do you want to switch off? What do you got?
For the people who may be watching for the first time and haven't seen our show before, this might be kind of new to you, but we've lately, and we don't mean this to seem to touch on some of these really negative things, but hey, that's it's stuff that interests us and stuff that. Anyway, we had a lot of cop shooting stuff lately.
Oh, yeah.
This one is not a cop shooting.
Good, because we've been beating up on the police officers a lot lately.
But this is a shooting and a failure by the legal system, I think. Mm-hmm. A man in Georgia in January of 2013, a 22-year-old Latino Georgia Tech student named Rodrigo Diaz, along with his girlfriend and two other friends, were in their car. They're just driving, and this was in Gwinnett County, Georgia, where apparently, they're like Florida with the stand your ground laws and stuff. And I'm not anti-gun rights at all. I'm very strongly pro-gun right, but use some common sense.
But that's the problem, Chuck. We have many people that do not have any kind of common sense. Keep going.
You're not wrong. Anyway,
that's why we have a show.
These 4 young people are on their way to pick up a friend. They're planning on going skating. They pull into this driveway. Turns out it's the wrong driveway. Mm-hmm. The owner of the house is a 70-year-old Philip Sailors. Comes out of his house with his .22 pistol, fires a warning shot at the car. These kids are freaking out. They back up. They know they're in the wrong place then, and they start driving away. But that wasn't good enough. Yeah, somebody shooting at you. That's not the house you're trying to.
Maybe the guy was pissed off. He didn't have a pizza sign on top of the car. He's like, I ordered a pizza. I don't know. Who wants to be a delivery guy to that damn house?
No kidding. Oh my gosh. God. So apparently just firing a warning shot and getting these people out of his driveway wasn't enough for Mr. Sailors. He fired a shot at the car as they were leaving, struck Mr. Diaz in the head and killed him right there on the spot
awful,
with a .22, which you don't normally associate with being that powerful of a handgun, but with the right placement, I guess, it's enough to kill anything. Anyway, so they shot and killed Mr. Diaz. Apparently, just this week, it finally went through the court systems and worked its way through. And Mr. Sailors pled guilty to involuntary manslaughter. Here is the problem. I mean, he did not deny his guilt. Here's the problem where I think the courts really screwed this one up. You know what his punishment was? $500 fine and a year probation.
For killing a young man.
For taking a young man's life.
Who did nothing towards him. There was no
prior.
There was no prior.
It was a case of the wrong place, wrong time.
I mean, he didn't have any problems out of these. People
no.
before.
They were just trying.
Not
to
that would justify it.
No,
because the person's leaving and you shot him as they were leaving,
They were trying to pick up their friend to go skating, went to the wrong place, and this man killed him.
And then he's going to pay a fine and be on probation. He's going to go back to his house.
So this young man's life was worth $500 to the Gwinnett County.
I mean, it's amazing all the different things. If you listen, all these different judges are making some really crazy decisions lately on child molesters or rapists or like this idiot who kills somebody. I mean, I don't understand.
And Mr. Diaz's family has they're not suing. They've actually forgiven the man, and it's like, look, it was a tragic mistake. The guy was an idiot for the way he handled it. But they're just like, you know what?
If my son, if my son was an idiot, and he was harassing this gentleman or something kind of thing, then I would maybe go. I would still be very upset that my son was dead, but I would think, well, my son's kind of a knucklehead, so all right, this is whatever. Not my son made mistakes. I mean, what's that say? I mean, you got to be scared to death to let your kid go anywhere now because this idiot might decide to shoot somebody.
Yeah, I don't know if his age factored into their decision or not or whatever, but
that's unbelievable.
It is. It's a tragic story all the way around, but to me, the court system just compounded it, by essentially saying this young Latino man's life was worth $500.
That's awful, man. Okay, that's just unbelievable.
Yeah, that's the world we live in now. You know, especially in the South. Not to stereotype everybody in the South as being, exactly inbred racist or whatever.
Right.
But, again, a young man of color dies, and it's apparently not that big a deal.
When we come back, we're going to talk about young man with color, a whole situation with that. We're going to talk about the stuff that's happening in Ferguson. That's all getting stirred up again, and we're going to come right back and talk about that. Stay with us.
Warehouse, located at 5800 Fern Valley Road. We have 12,000 square feet of space to cater to your wildest party requests. Our large dance floor features 2 cages with a stellar light show to match. Along with our DJ booth and state-of-the-art sound system, we can keep the party going all night. We also have 2 VIP areas to accommodate your rock star lifestyle. Want to feature a band or other musical act at your party? Then our amazing stage at the Warehouse will more than please you and your friends.
Did I mention there's plenty of parties?
Want to rent our space? Contact our office at 502-964-7040 or find us on Facebook. The Warehouse, Louisville.
How's my hair?
Looks fabulous.
Is there anything in my teeth? You may have a few questions about what's going on here, like, who is this girl? What is she doing? Was that hat an appropriate choice? All of these questions and more will be answered on her new show, The Bucket List, the show where Ditto Jones fights the forces of evil to make every day the best day of her young life. Tuesdays at 8 on Phil TV.
I want you to just look. It looks like, when we were back on the green screen, it looked like you had one of those hats like the northern guys wear with the little wings on the side. That's what it looked like.
Take off, eh?
Hey, yeah. Yeah, well, one of those. That's right. That's what it looked like. I was like, hey, what's going on? He changed hats on me. Anyway, thanks for coming back. We were talking about this gentleman, this young man that got shot with this whack job, 70-year-old whack job, because of mistaken of pulling in the wrong driveway. And then you talk about a little bit of, another man of color. And I don't know if you've been watching the news lately, but the Ferguson thing's starting to get riled up in St. Louis again because the verdict's about to be read sometime between now and the end of the month. And it's just disturbing because, I have a lot of police officers that are friends of mine. I know they got a really tough job. It's no doubt about it. Of course, on this show, we talk about a lot of the knuckleheads that are police officers that keep doing bad things and doing the wrong things and beating the hell out of people for no reason, things of that nature. However, even from the start of this, it didn't seem like that to me. And I know they didn't want to link the video up of Mike Brown going to the store and robbing the store, really, basically with the actions that happened later, which I think is just kind of stupid, really, because it shows the kind of person he is. And then if he thinks that he's going to rob a store and be walking down the street, they keep saying, well, the officer didn't know if he was the one robbing the store. Well, Mike Brown don't know if the officer knows that he's the one that did it either. There's 2 sides to that. So if you have a character like Mike Brown seemed to have in the video, instead of this choir boy that they always try to do up front, and you don't know if that officer knows, well, then maybe you are going to be aggressive towards the officer, But again, the facts are still, they're still learning all that in the grand jury. The jury's still out on all that. But however, there have been some of the talk show people saying that there are some leaks coming from the jury saying that there are several black eyewitnesses that seen what happened, and that's why they're eyewitnesses, but that was stupid, and said that Mike Brown was charging at the officer, okay? However, there's still different ones that are guests on these panels that keep saying, no matter what, we need justice for Mike Brown, and this officer needs to go to jail, and there's already a bounty on the officer's head, and all this kind of nonsense. And it's like, either give these folks what they want, even though it's going to be wrong, because if not, you're going to get a bad outcome. And I believe was the same situation with the OJ thing.
Yeah.
The OJ thing to me was the same thing because we already had the Rodney King riots, and at the time, although every person in America, including every white person, every black person, every Latino person today, all of them say, "Oh yeah, OJ killed that bitch."
Oh, yeah.
Every one of them. But when that was happening, oh no, OJ wouldn't do that. And I'm swear to you, I think that if they would have come back with a guilty verdict on OJ, riots would have happened again. I really believe it. So I think it's sad to think that we have to base decisions instead of the right decision. We have to worry about, well, what's going to be the outcome, what's going to happen, and that's the disturbing part for me. The funny thing to me is, even on some of the videos of the shows that I watched when all that actually happened back in August, was there was one video that they showed only just a couple of times. I don't know why they only showed it a couple times. Probably because when you don't show that video, it's better for the news, and you know we got more. We can talk about this show for 20 episodes instead of. But there was a guy in the video, one of the guys in the neighborhood. It was obviously a black man, was on the video, and he was videoing it. He said, "Man, what's Mike Brown doing?" He asked this guy. His voice on the video said, "What's he doing? Why is he going after that officer?" or some kind of thing like that.
Yeah.
They show that video 1, maybe 2 times on the national TV. Why is that? Right there showed you what what he was doing. Okay? But that didn't sell TV ads and that, whatever. But
and it doesn't fit the narrative that they want to present.
Yes, exactly. Now, again, it's sad Mike Brown's dead. It's sad that a young man was killed. However, if you are a menace to society, which it seems like he was 5 minutes before the shooting, what else is he going to do in life? Is he going to prey on other people? Is he going to beat? What are you going to do? What are you going to wait till he kills the shop owner? You wait till he robs somebody else, does something really bad before you go, oh yeah, he is a bad person. He attacked this police officer. Then there's people on the panels that say, well, he could have used mace, he could have used taser, whatever. Look, the officer looks like he's just a normal sized man. Mike Brown was a huge 6'4", 250-pound young man with an attitude. What are you going to do? I mean, he's charging at me. He's already slugged me in the car. He tried to get my gun. You got to die. I guess it aggravates me because what if the officer didn't do that and he rushes, that Mike Brown rushes the officer and the officer dies? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, he has a right to defend himself. Mike Brown should not even been in that position. First of all, when the officer pulled over and questioned you, so you should have not been a jerk.
Yeah.
Or you shouldn't have robbed the store 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, whatever it was. I mean,
I agree with everything you're saying.
I'm so tired of all that.
My only concern that I might have is the shooting in the back while he's.
I don't think he did. I don't.
The initial reports were
Sure.
that he was shot several times in the back as he was.
And if he did that, then I understand.
So I don't know the key facts enough to make a decision on that.
Sure.
But if that were the case, then there should be some kind of penalty for the officer.
Sure. And I'm not necessarily defending the officer all the way.
Right.
I mean, again, if he shot the kid in the back, then you need to be punished for what you've done. But who's to say that was even that even really happened? I don't know.
Right. I don't know.
Really
Again,
happened.
I'm not sure.
And his buddy that was with him changed his story like 4 or 5 times of what really happened.
Yeah. Bottom line is, you want to avoid that situation. Don't be an idiot.
Yeah. Quit breaking the law. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think sometimes it does happen. I mean, we've seen video lately that there's guys just kind of standing around and the officer's being an ass and he's arresting somebody or punching him in the face.
The video of the guy getting shot at the gas station for reaching for his ID.
Exactly. So it does happen, and I guess I don't blame a lot of young people, really. I mean, it's not only black anymore. I mean, it's everybody.
No, it's everybody.
But I don't blame so much a black youth being scared that I might get my ass whooped.
It just seems like the minority kids are the ones who are dying, while the most likely because minorities seem to have more run-ins with the law, not necessarily because they've done something wrong, but just seem to disproportionately be pulled over or whatever,
Could be.
I don't know, but more people are dying than they should. Anybody dying under circumstances like that is a bad thing.
But I just don't like the fact that so many people that are ready to, and hopefully not, but ready to just go riot in the street again.
Yeah.
Because they don't think they got the right decision. They didn't get the decision that they wanted.
Right.
And the other thing was that the governor...
You just touched on the key words.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily about the right decision.
Right.
It's about the decision that you want.
Right. And the one thing that bothered me again this week too was that the governor, I think it's Jay Nixon, is the governor, and he's already issued to have the National Guard ready. Mm-hmm. Okay, now there's a bunch of people in an uproar about that, and I'm thinking, why are you uproared by that? Because they're not saying if you want to protest, you don't like the outcome, whatever you want to protest. Protest. That is your right. You can protest all you want to. However, from what happened the last time, shouldn't these business owners and the neighborhood and people be protected from the idiots that are going to act like a fool? Yeah. I mean, so they're not saying that you start protesting, we're just going to start shooting you. We're just there in case you don't protest in your proper manner.
Your protest is acquiring a new TV by busting somebody's shop window.
Exactly. And so I didn't understand why so many were offended by that. I mean, even a couple of the Congress people down there that represent that state were a little bit perturbed by that.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand that. You've seen what happened already. You've seen what's happened in other cities before. Yeah. Why shouldn't you want to at least prepare?
Well, I can tell you why some of them were in an uproar, is because a lot of that aftermath of Ferguson, people who were peacefully demonstrating were tear gassed and were shot with rubber bullets and were beat.
Probably, but and I'm not. You're probably right. But however,
in sections where there was no rioting going on.
Okay, well, you'd be right. What I was thinking when you said that was possibly, if you're rioting peacefully, you say, hey, sorry about Michael Brown, whatever, and then you got some idiot over here throwing rocks at the police or busting out windows at the local convenience store. Yeah. And then here comes tear gas. I'm sorry. What do you want us to do? Just let this idiot do whatever he wants to do? Yeah. I mean, you can't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I was surprised to see the video of the last time when it happened, and you got all these young kids. They had busted out a storefront window, and they're all just running in there. And at that point, SWAT should have swarmed in that place and busted them all in the head and put handcuffs on them and took them to jail.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Just let them go. Just let them do whatever they want. When people think they can get away with stuff, they're going to get away with it. That's what they're going to do. Just like you or me, whatever. It wasn't me. Honestly, I was a pretty good kid. And I'm not saying you weren't. But, I mean, just like kids. I mean, Dad said don't take the car out. Well, you're going to go take the car out. Because if you don't have a consequence, I didn't do that because I know I was getting my ass beat.
Yeah.
If there's no consequences, why don't they act a fool? Why shouldn't you just act a fool? Have a good time. Do what you want to do. Nobody's going to do anything about it. And I think that's really, and that leads me to the next thing I want to talk about was this school in Philadelphia. There's a school in Philadelphia where teachers and substitute teachers are getting beat up on a regular basis. On a regular basis, and nothing's happening to the kids. They're not getting expelled. They're maybe getting a suspension for 3 or 4 days. Meanwhile, they've assaulted this. One guy was laid out cold out on the floor. You could have killed that guy. You injured someone because you're a heathen. Yeah. You're just to go to school and do what you're supposed to do, do what you're told, learn some stuff, and go home.
Yeah.
But that's the problem with a lot of these schools or a lot of these youth today. Utes. That's a lot of the youths.
The two youths.
The two youths over here. They're heathenish.
Yeah.
I mean, they really are. I mean, and I don't know if it's parenting. I'd say a lot of it's parenting. Or, again, what's the consequences? If you don't want to know how to act, send his ass to jail, send to prison. But then you got people going, well, yeah, but the jails are overcrowded. We got too many minorities in jail. Well, I'm sorry. If you're a minority and you're acting a damn fool, well, I'm sorry. That's where you're going to go. That's where you belong. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not saying you shouldn't put white. There's a bunch of white heathens that ought to go in there, too. I see them every day when I'm going up and down the street, believe me.
Yeah.
You just go to the local Circle K down from my house, and I'm telling you, there's a bunch of little idiots in there that ought to go. But I'm just saying, it's the same thing we talked about with the Jim Carrey movie, Liar, Liar.
Oh,
yeah. Johnny broke the law again, he's robbed another store, he wants to know what he should do. Stop breaking the law, asshole.
Yeah.
It's very simple. Stop being jerks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could go on all night about the jail system, but and there are plenty of people who belong in there, but there are plenty of people who don't belong in there. But that's a whole different story.
Do you ever watch Lockup? Do you ever watch
No.
You should watch it. Everybody, you should watch Lock Up, San Quentin, Lock Up, Washington, whatever. Just watch those shows, okay? And yes, there's probably some gentleman in there that maybe you shouldn't be, or maybe he's a fairly nice guy, just made a few mistakes, whatever. I get that. But the majority of the heathens that are in this place, I mean, I know we got to be all politically correct and all that stuff, but not me. I don't want to be politically correct. I think you really should line up about 80% of them and should put a bullet in their head. They're some of them are. If you ever let that idiot out, more people are going to die. Yeah. That's how much of an animal some of these people are.
And sadly, if you weren't when you went in, by the time you get out, you will be.
True.
The way the system works in there, you know, it's Lord of the Flies, man. You know,
well, it makes for good TV, and I don't know if that's the reason. One of the things that they do, but I mean, some of these gentlemen they show in there. I mean,
of course
you just sit there and go,
of course.
Why are you feeding this guy 3 meals a day, and he's got teeth? Why even do that? Why send him away somewhere? Just get him out of here, because he's a worthless human being. Honestly. I mean, I know we might get some religious nutcases that calls you, well, everybody's worth something. No, there are people that are not worth living. Honestly, it's unbelievable. Quit being so nice. We don't have to be all nice all the time. You know, we need somebody to have some balls once in a while, some cojones. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, and do something, man. Get make some things happen, because we got predators preying on the innocent and the people that like you and I who just want to live our life every day, and we have to live in fear all the time. And when we try to protect ourselves, we still have to live in fear, because the government and the court system wants to put you in through hell when you try to protect yourself. Yeah. I gotta lose work time. I gotta get a lawyer. I gotta spend all kinds of money, and then be fearful that I'm gonna lose my freedom because some idiot wanted to mess with me, and I defended myself, and then I gotta go prove my innocence. Yeah. Are you? What kind of system is that? That's a joke. Yeah. It's a joke. I'm going crazy, ain't I?
Hey.
What I do.
You should know that road.
Right.
That's a well-traveled pathway, my friend.
Let's take another break, man. I gotta have a break. I've almost lost my mind right there. We'll come right back. Stay with us, man. It's getting crazy.
When it comes to custom t-shirts, people believe they only have 3 options: fast, cheap, or good. But with Staub Screen Printing, you can have it all. We offer custom screen printing and embroidery with fast service and affordable rates. With 3 full-time artists on staff, we can take your idea from concept to completion with custom decoration on virtually all apparel for any occasion. So, whatever your print and embroidery needs may be, call Staub Screen Printing today.
Have you ever wanted to jump out of a perfectly good airplane? Professional staff is jumping for fun, and a proud member of the United States Parachute Association is there to help you have the safest adrenaline rush imaginable. Located just south of Louisville in Springfield, Kentucky at Arnold Airport. For more information, go to jumpingforfunskydiving.com or find us on Facebook.
And we're back again. Here we are.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a turn. Chuck, go ahead.
All right.
I was kind of going crazy for a minute. You go ahead.
I got a couple of things here. I had them in order, but I'm going to switch up the order a little bit here. You know how I am about...
Don't come out yet. Don't come out yet. It's not time, bud.
the way that our financial system is, and
you mean the ones in the studio, or?
Well, that's a whole other
we need money.
Topic there.
We need money.
Yes. Click the donate button. Oh, we don't have one of those.
Hey, Josh, get us a donation button.
Anyway, you know, the whole Wall Street thing just kills me.
Right.
You know, well, our friendly United States House of Representatives on Tuesday passed a bill of financial deregulation package. Here we are again. These screw-ups on Wall Street run the economy into the ground, and a few of our senators, Dodd and Chris Dodd and Barney Frank, put together this package to. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. I mentioned Barney Frank and package in the same sentence, but It's not about that. See,
I was ready to go, brother.
It's not about that. They at least tried to rein these idiots in and keep them from gambling with our money.
Yeah.
You know, but hey, you know, you know me, I'm more on.
Problem is, if you gamble with their money and you lose it all, they're going to put you in jail.
But they want to gamble with your money, and when they lose it, hey, sorry.
What a system we have. It's so nice.
No kidding. Well, and it's just going to get worse with the results of the midterm elections. And I know you tend to lean more towards the Republican side, and I tend to lean more towards the left. But you know, the House.
I'm always hanging to the left. If that makes you feel
better.
Yeah,
you know, whatever.
Hanging to the left.
The House has been in Republican control for the last several years now. Since the 2010 midterms, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be off on that. But you know, that's why there's been so much gridlock in Congress and everything like that. But
sure.
Well, the U.S. House passed they're going to deregulate everything that Dodd-Frank law tried to fix. They're going to go back and undo. They're trying to undo already. Now, as of right now, it won't pass the Senate because that's still for the next few weeks. At least
till January
is under Democrat control.
Right.
But so it won't pass the Senate now. But you know that as soon as the changes come along, they're going to run it through again. And you know, everything. As it is right now in the House, every Democrat or every Republican except one voted for it. One Republican voted against it, and 46 Democrats voted for it, and the rest of them said, no way.
Right.
Again, with special interests, they win again. They always will, as long as we continue to allow that kind of money in the election system, you know, the people are going to lose and the special interests are going to win. Pure and simple. And
that's what bothers me, because how are you supposed to have confidence in anything or get involved or you know, get any passion for it, because you can't unless you have the millions of dollars in the bank to get what you want done.
You know, hey, I can't afford a lobbyist, you know.
I barely afford to get over here today.
Hey, I feel you.
I don't know what that had to do with my watch. I don't know what my fake watch. I couldn't barely get over it. I don't know what
you couldn't afford a watch.
I can't even afford a watch.
To tell what time it was to get over here.
Oh, that's my heartbeat.
I don't know. You know. But corporate interests win again.
Yeah.
And for or against Obamacare, whatever, that's another topic that they're taking on as soon as the new Congress comes into session. They're going to start trying to railroad that through, because, you know, we don't need affordable health care, you know.
Right.
Why not? Hey, if it's up to me.
You don't need affordable health care, and I understand your point, but then there's your comment, but there's people out there that say, who's it affordable for? Mine just went up triple. Mine just tripled.
Well, you know
how's it affordable to me?
Because I tell you, the biggest problem with the Affordable Care Act is it didn't go far enough. If you ask me, single payer health care like every other.
Well, because they wanted to hurry up and push it through, and that's something that.
Well, the problem is, you know, they call it Obamacare, but Obama didn't write a damn thing in it.
Right.
It was all supposedly written by Congress, but you know who it was really written by.
Well, let me tell you, that brings up a point that this Jay Gruber, I think is his name, Jay Gruber, he's on the hot seat right now because he was one of the people involved, okay?
Yeah.
Now here's what really, oh my God, you know me, I'm not a big fan of the government anyway, because they're just all a bunch of lying pieces of shit. But it's this Jay Gruber guy. I think I'm saying his name right.
I think I know where you're going.
Yeah. And it's funny because he's saying, hey, they did all this stuff to get it. They told you lies, because if they told you the truth, it would never pass. Okay, so he's been involved with this process the whole time. And there is video. I don't understand how the president or any of the Congress people would ever think that you're on camera right now and you say something, and then 6 months down the road you go, oh, I didn't say that. We got it right here, stupid.
Yeah.
So Obama himself, and especially that flighty, no-brain idiot Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
I don't even know how she's ever kept. And we've bitched about her before because when she retires or whatever, we talked about that. She's still going to get like $800-some thousand a year for the rest of her life. That's mind-boggling already. But she is in a video saying, "Oh yeah, Jay Gruber, whatever his name. Oh yeah, he's one of the greatest people working on this thing right there." And then the other day she says, "Jay Gruber? I've never heard of him.
Yeah.
I've never met him." I was like, "Oh my God, you idiot! She's so stupid."
Well, here's the thing, all the people complaining about Obamacare, you know who isn't complaining? The healthcare companies, the health insurance companies. You know why? Because Congress didn't even really write it. They sat in a room, brought the healthcare lobby guys in there, and they wrote the damn laws.
Right.
So who makes out like a bandit? The health insurance.
Well, and
companies.
the reason why, and probably the reason why that is because it's just like going back to that special interest.
Yeah.
These are special interest groups. So they said, "Hey, you come in here and you write this because we want you to be happy because we, and that's
you're the experts."
Yeah, right. Well, you're the expert. Really, you're the experts at taking everybody's money.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my God.
So to me, it didn't go far enough. We need a single payer plan like Canada and England and Europe and every other civilized country in the world, where we're already paying for it with our taxes. People that say, "Oh, your taxes," we're already paying for it.
Yeah, you always have been.
The plan is there. Everybody else knows how to do it. Why can't we do it? I'll tell you why. 2013. The CEOs of the healthcare. Here's their.
I've never seen him like this. This is
here's
great. My buddy's all riled up.
Here's what the CEOs of these 6 healthcare companies, health insurance companies, made for 2013. Joseph Swedish from WellPoint made $17 million in 2013. That comes to $49,000 a day.
I got something for you.
Stephen Hemsley, United Health, $12.1 million, $35,000 a day. David Cordani from Cigna, $13.5 million, $39,000 a day. Michael Neerdorf, Centrine, I'm not familiar with those ones. He made $14.5 million, $42,000 a day. Now those are rough. It's a little 42,280 or whatever. I don't know, but I just average it a day. That's 42,000 a day. Mark Bertoloni of Aetna, $30.7 million, $90,000 a day. $90,000 a day.
It's amazing, man.
And poor Bruce Broussard from Humana, he was the low man.
Is he the low man?
He's the low man on the totem pole.
I feel sorry for him. He probably went to collect food stamps.
Yeah, probably. He's probably lined up right down there. $8.8 million. He only made $8.8 million. That's only $25,000 a day.
Oh, I can't live on that. I can't live on that.
To contrast that, the average income of all occupations in 2013 was $35,000 a year. These guys are making well above that a day, except for poor Mr. Broussard, who only made $25,000 a day.
Yeah.
And you wonder why nothing changes.
Well, that brings me to I don't know. You're not. I don't know if you're much of a baseball guy, but did you hear that contract?
Oh yeah, I did.
That is
astronomical.
Stanton is his last name. I don't know what his name is.
Yeah,
Jose Stanton. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I don't like baseball.
John Carlo or something like that. He's from Cuba.
First of all, they play too many games. I never understood baseball anyway. How the hell do you have a baseball game in the middle of the day on a Wednesday?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's at work. So I don't know.
Except for the CEOs who can afford.
I like going to the game, but I don't know how you watch it on TV. But my point to that is, and I get it. Don't get me wrong. I'm still a capitalist at heart. Okay, I think you ought to be able to go out and make as much money as you can. That's just I do. All that. But come on, man. He got for 13 years of playing ball.
Yeah.
And playing baseball, most of the time you're just kind of sitting out in the field waiting for the ball to come. You're not really doing a whole lot. $325 million for 13 years. It's
obscene.
It's terrible,
Here's the difference to me. Well, first off, all professional sports have priced the average person out of going to games and stuff. At least the major league sports. You know, you can still afford to go to a minor league hockey game, or if you want to, it's $20 a ticket. Cool. You know, you're paying $5-6 for a beer if you want it. That's a little much to me, but hey, whatever. You know, the difference is you can choose whether or not you want to watch the baseball game, whether you want to go to the ball game, whether you want to watch the game on TV, whether you want to buy a jersey. You cannot choose. You cannot. Healthcare is not a choice. It shouldn't be anyway. If you're sick, you got to go to the doctor, or you lay there and die. Right. You know. Right. For healthcare to be a for-profit system is just obscene to me. You know. It didn't used to be. 35, 40 years ago, health insurance was a non-profit game, and you didn't see the astronomical costs associated with going to the doctor that you do now. Mm-hmm. For it to be a for-profit system is a slap in the face to everybody, and you get idiots like this making $30 million a year. And
that's just their that's
their base salary.
That's not even their bonus money.
No, that's base salary, man.
Oh yeah, they probably got they're always getting $10 million bonuses and
kickbacks from the pharmaceutical companies. Oh yeah, oh my god,
exhausting, man. It's exhausting.
That to me is an affront to everybody as a human being.
Yeah, but you're going to have the people that say, "Hey, man, just like it's a capitalist world. I mean, why shouldn't this guy be able to make all the money he wants to make? He went to school for it, and he spent all this money to go to school and all that kind of stuff. And you're going to have people that say that. Why shouldn't they make as much money as they want to make?
I'm all for. Believe it or not, I'm pro capitalism. But the system we have right now isn't a capitalist system. It's a mutated version of it. The game is rigged. You know, the people at the top who control these Wall Street systems and control the healthcare systems and the pharmaceutical companies and the CEOs and everything, they have the people, they have the lobby industry in their back pocket, and they have the Congress in their back pocket.
It's almost like a chess game. Like they're up there playing the chess game, and they're moving.
They're playing both sides against the middle anyway. That you think they're just donating to the Republican side? No, they're paying off both sides, and therefore, if you can afford to buy the people in power, you get the result you want.
True.
Joe, small businessman down the street, who's trying to get, you're trying to get by, you're doing things the right way, you're trying to make a living, you can't afford the lobby groups to represent you, so you get taxed out of existence, while GE doesn't pay a damn dime in taxes.
But their reason for that is they're creating jobs.
You can say that. They created those jobs 50 years ago, and they're still getting the breaks for those same jobs. Mm-hmm. Those tax breaks are so they don't take the jobs left that they haven't already sent overseas and send them overseas. To me, you don't create a tax break for that. If you want to send your jobs overseas, you should be taxed more. If you're claiming you're a U.S. company and you're sending your jobs overseas,
but the other thing is that when you look at the corporate taxes in other countries, that's why a lot of them are going overseas, is because the corporate tax here was way too high. I mean, it was way much higher than other countries. That's why they move. That's why Nike or
50 years ago, or say, let's just give or take that, 50 years or so, the corporate tax base was actually higher than it is now, and everybody was thriving. Till Reaganomics came along. Oh, even in the late 70s, they started deregulating some stuff, and then everybody got a little more. These guys got a little more of the pie, and then they started getting greedier.
Oh, it's all about the greed.
And it's like, hey, let's. Oh no, that's not enough. Our shareholders want this, and our shareholders want that, and our corporate suite wants this, and they want that, and it all trickles up. And the shareholders a lot of times happen to be the corporate suite the system is gamed. You know, you cannot win.
We're not in the game.
Well, yeah, if you're the small guy, you're screwed.
Yeah.
You know, it's so we don't live in a purely capitalist system. It's a mutated version. It's almost an oligarchy where the days of the robber barons, you know, your railroad tycoons and your steel guys, you know, we're headed back to those same ways because the pot and paid for Congress wants to just eliminate all regulations. You know, let's tone everything down. And the EPA, these guys are out for the EPA now. We only got a couple minutes left. I just want to touch on this quick story that affects the people who are watching who happen to be in Kentucky, more the eastern side of Kentucky. But you know, coal company, all election cycle, you saw Mitch McConnell's ads on there saying Obama's war on coal, and you know, and then Allison was trying to counter that, saying, "Oh, we're pro coal, we aren't blah blah blah." Right. And I understand a lot of people in that part of the state still make their living on coal. Right. And it's a tough subject. Mm-hmm. But when you want to cut out the EPA and deregulate people, this is going to get worse. A coal company in eastern Kentucky called Fraser Creek Mining, who their main deal is mountaintop removal. You know, the old strip mining deal, blast the top of the mountain off and get the coal out from there. The worst polluting kind of mining there is. They were allegedly falsified their pollution reports for the first quarter of 2014, according to multiple environmental groups that they actually filed an intent to sue notice this week. They've been falsifying their reports to avoid triggering violations in pollution limits.
I mean, you know, are you surprised?
No, I'm not surprised at all.
I mean, they all lie about it.
Because, you know, but the big thing is that a lot of these, the Republican side, but, you know, and pro coal, but anybody who's been on the whole free market system saying, oh, the free market will check themselves. No, they won't.
No, they won't.
Because when you take away any limits, people are going to cut as many corners as they can for chase the almighty dollar. And I'm sorry, I know you guys you're making your living on coal, but people need clean water to drink.
Right.
You know, we all die if we can't.
Well, like your buddy where you're from.
Yeah, I mean the fracking, man, in Pennsylvania. You know, when you can set your tap water on fire as it's coming out of the faucet, there's a problem there.
Yeah. It's not the new drink at the local bar.
No.
They light it on fire. Oh, I'll take some of that.
Shots for everybody.
Hey, what's that? Check this out.
Hey, what's that? Is that the 151? No, it's tap water.
The new product by Monster.
Oh my God, it's insane.
Right.
You know, so I understand that some regulations, people are the paperwork is insane, and people.
Oh, it is.
You know, you have to, but there have to be limits for the common good, or else the planet will be a cesspool, even worse than it is.
Well, it's the same thing with. You got to have laws, and you got to have police officers put on the street, because if you didn't, it'd just be anarchy all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've seen it with Monsanto in the 70s. They were dumping benzene into rivers and polluting whole towns' drinking supplies.
Right, and we wonder why everybody's got so much cancer these days.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
it's just.
But it's insane, and we're kind of going over our time here.
Oh, we sure are.
Hey, who cares?
Hey, who cares? We can do what we want. It's the internet.
But
it's all right. It's a good show tonight, though.
Yeah.
We got riled up, man. I love seeing you get riled up, man. You're more of a calm dude than I am.
I am normally,
and
but
you're that Democratic thing about you.
I'm getting frustrated. It's not so much. It's not. I even hate to say Democrat anymore, because I lean more towards liberal on social issues and environmental issues because, man, we all got to live on this planet.
Right.
You know.
No, I agree with you.
And
that's what I'm. And more than I like you, or unlike you, I'm more towards the Republican side. But then I like to be in the middle some because not everything that they do is right. Not anything anybody does is right.
The two-party system is a joke because they're both bought and paid for by the same people.
I don't.
And there are only a few politicians out there that I would stand up and say, "Hey, look, I'd be proud to vote for this person."
I will say one right now.
Even though I do continue to vote,
I will say one right now. Right now, I haven't got to see any debates. Haven't got to see the guy talk more. I'll go for Rand Paul right now.
I like some of his ideas. He's a little too socially conservative for me, you know. But I like some of his ideas.
Yeah.
You know, I'd go for Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders, or they happen to be Democrats, but they're all for getting money out of politics and shutting down these idiots on Wall Street who are gambling.
Well, they always say that when they're campaigning. But when they get in there, nothing happens.
No, Elizabeth Warren has been in Senate for a couple of terms now, and she's been hard on Wall Street the whole time, you know, and doesn't accept Wall Street money and stuff. So, and they happen to be Democrats, but there's a guy who was shut out of the Republican convention, the debates. The last presidential round, who was a governor of Louisiana and then was a senator from Louisiana, Republican, and I think he did an independent for a while too. But Buddy Roemer has a lot of great ideas. Again, a little conservative on the social side for me, but has some great ideas economically and stuff. And again, getting big money out of politics.
Right.
You know, that's a theme with me.
Right.
Because nothing is going to change until that changes.
You got more faith in me, buddy.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Thanks for being here with us on the Lowdown. I hope you'll watch us, spread the word, tell your friends. We're on YouTube now, man.
Yes, we are.
All for that.
And you can still watch us on Ville TV Network.
Yes, and check out Ville TV Network. Watch Sean and Kat live on Ville TV Live, and check out other shows coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
And thanks to all our sponsors.
Watch the archived stuff. If you can't catch it live, watch the archived stuff.
Exactly. Check us out, man. We're new. We're badass.
In fact, if you can't watch it live, the very same place you've been watching it here on YouTube will be the YouTube video.
He's like the guy on
the address doesn't change.
He's Don Pardo.
That's what I was going to say. I was trying to think of the name of it.
The guy from Saturday Night Live.
Who
passed away recently.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Now piss off.
Yeah, what he said.